What's going on, guys? It's Chad. Sorry I didn't upload this video early, so I actually did end up getting up early because there was an update that did drop at 2 a.m. I believe this morning. I ended up getting up ahead of time and I sat down, waited for the update, did the entire download. There was even a secondary update that came out that was like an extra 8 gigs randomly. Not entirely sure what the deal is with that whole thing, but I got up early because I was expecting there to be like some sort of new weapon or whatever, and then I can immediately, you know, make a video on it and all this other stuff, and, you know, I'll be cool. But instead, when I ended up getting on, there was no new weapon. There was nothing new. Now, I'm not entirely sure who said it, but there's actually a dev out there, or one of the people that are part of the team, said that the butterfly knife is supposed to be coming next week, which is kind of weird considering the battle pass only has 2 weeks left and you're releasing one of the weapons that were on your roadmap from the beginning of this season and only releasing it literally on the final week. I mean, maybe they've done that before, but that just seems a little weird, especially on 2 a.m. updates. Usually you would have something brand new on there. I mean, there are some new things that ended up coming out with the update. The biggest one likely being, for most people anyway, is that they added private matches in Warzone. I believe next week when they drop that butterfly knife, those will be gone and they're not gonna give you, you know, basically just a free butterfly knife that you'll be able to do super easily. Imagine shipment when everybody has to go and get like, what, 5 melee kills or something like that per game and everyone just backs out. Every single shipment lobby is gonna be a bunch of people just running at each other, smacking each other over the head with random knives and mallets and shit. And on top of that, everybody would unlock it super easily. And they obviously don't want that. They want us to waste as much time as possible. They do have that snipers only game mode or whatever that they've probably fixed at this point now, so that's cool. I honestly was saying that I did not think that they were ever going to bring it back. So I was expecting that butterfly knife to be out, so it never came out, so I was just kind of sitting here like, well, alright, well that sucks. I ran a mythic on WoW and then I went to sleep. Yeah, note to self, I did also try to make this carbine class. This shit doesn't work, it'll never work, stop trying. It just won't work. I don't even know if you can one-shot headshot somebody at any kind of range or whatever, even if they have like 2 plates, maybe 1 plate, I don't know. So with that disappointing update coming out and everything, I mean, it's cool that people got custom games and everything like that, but honestly, I feel like at the end of the day, a lot of people that play Warzone and other things like that aren't actually looking to get in like super hard pro lobbies and stuff like that. Like, I don't think people truly want to play games like that just because I don't think at least the majority of people want to play a game like that. People are talking about how tournaments are going to change forever with this whole thing, but a lot of people are arguing like kill race versus actual tournament style Warzone kind of stuff with like only, you know, stacked rosters and squads and stuff. They'll do snipers only. I don't know, man. I've been done with this game. I'm gonna be right. I mean, as soon as I finished Obsidian, I was done with this fucking game. Cannot wait to stop. They also ended up separating the loadouts finally after an entire year. They separated the loadouts between Modern Warfare and Warzone now. Actually, when you go back here, yeah, you can see it here. So now, I launched Modern Warfare, but now I can pick Cold War, Warzone as a standalone, and then actual Modern Warfare. So now when Cold War comes out, they'll all kind of be separated. It's still kind of weird working though. So you'll have all these classes here where I made half of them my, you know, multiplayer classes or whatever, and then the other half I made them as Warzone classes, given I obviously use the multiplayer ones much more. When you go and switch over to Warzone or whatever, those loadouts can actually be changed now. So if I go over here and say I want to use like a PKM with, who cares? I'll just put 1 attachment on there, 1 attachment PKM under this class here that still has the same, you know, names and stuff. So now that I changed this, underneath of the Warzone game, now, whenever I go over to Modern Warfare, that first class will not be the PKM. See, it's still the Jack 12. And then we go over to Warzone and we got the PKM there. So I'll have to take the time to actually clear all of these, I guess. And now we have separated classes like we should have had from the start, honestly, just because the weapons just behave so differently from each other. And for the sake of not having to sit in Gunsmith, you know, over and over and over again just to change my attachments all over again. Yeah, it's much better. Do the XP tokens that are on Modern Warfare count on Cold War if they stretch across games? Or if I pop double XP on Cold War, will it carry over to Modern Warfare / Warzone as well? I doubt that. So basically, the only things that changed with this update is that they were trying to make it so, you know, the integration process will go well. literally the world's worst player. They had time to fix his game mode, but they didn't remove melee. Remove melee, let's see what they can do. The entire like 40 or 50 gigs that you download on PC as a whole is basically just an entire integration patch. So also, people have been getting the game early. Black Ops Cold War is what I'm talking about anyway. I'm not doing that snipers only mode, never mind. Especially since I know I'm gonna be using stuff like the Pellington and whatever it may be to try to do this stuff as quickly as possible. Yeah. First thing I'm gonna do is do the sniper rifles first, and then we do all the automatics. So whatever the sniper rifle stuff is, it's definitely what I'm doing. As soon as the game drops, we're going into hardcore, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I should stay in core. I'm not entirely sure. I think for the Pellington, hardcore might not be the worst idea in the world. But at the same time, maybe being able to take a couple extra bullets will actually help me. I mean, there's a ton of leaks out there. Every single year, every time, people end up getting the game like a few days early, maybe a week early or whatever. So obviously, a lot of people got the game early. There's a bunch of leaks everywhere. I'm not gonna be talking about the leaks or whatever, but yeah, just, you know, be careful out there on social media or whatever. There's a lot of spoilers out there for zombies. I've seen some gameplay. I've seen some things like that. It does look a little different than how zombies usually looks, but I'm not entirely sure what people are exactly aiming for with zombies anyway, so. They also added some sort of weird graphical setting in here where you have to put your texture resolution on high in order for it to work, but under the on-demand texture streaming, they now allowed a daily download limit for it. You can change the cache size and everything. I'm not entirely sure what this does exactly though, because on-demand texture streaming says downloads high-quality textures to your hard disk from the internet as you play the game, providing more color detail. And the other things basically adjust how much of it you can store and how much of it is, I guess, happening in the moment of you playing or something. I don't know. But when I've changed the setting, even cranking the setting up to maximum, it would restart my game, but I swear the game doesn't look any different. Does anyone have like a side-by-side comparison of what texture streaming difference even actually is? What is the upside to it? Oh, you jump? Okay, bet. What a stupid gun. It's gonna be fun too because they're gonna be able to use it on Cold War as well. A lot of people are flaming too because apparently there's only gonna be like 8 maps on release. A lot of people are mad about it, but I'm gonna be honest, out of my like 35 plus days played on this, I've literally only played 1 map anyway. I'm still playing it right now. Obviously it's an exaggeration or whatever, but honestly, like the only way that this game is playable for me anyway is literally just this map. So long as the spawns make sense on Cold War, I think for some design, you know, choices and stuff as far as the maps go on Modern Warfare, obviously they were pushing towards more of a campy-ish kind of tactical playstyle with mounting in mind and stuff like that. They went the more, you know, quote, tactical way. If the spawns were even better, the maps would just play better. They just would. Everybody knows how weird and inconsistent these spawns are. If you fight and argue for the spawns of Modern Warfare, you're literally just delusional. And I've seen people do it, so I know they exist. So yeah, we already played basically half of the maps on the game, which is fine with me because, I mean, I really like Satellite and Moscow, and I mean, I don't really care about Miami, but, you know, I mean, I could definitely play the same maps over and over and over again. That really doesn't bother me. And on top of that, I mean, we could have 500 maps, but at the end of the day, if players are just gonna get absolutely smashed on this game, they're just gonna quit and go back to Warzone anyway. It really won't matter how many maps there are. And on top of that, honestly, if they are releasing content the same way that Infinity Ward has been releasing content and they're getting help and multi-studio operation here to try to, you know, help the game, which is what they definitely need, they did a huge portion of this game through Zoom calls and stuff. So, I mean, there's gonna be problems. There's gonna be things that, you know, you're not gonna have an excess of content immediately. But it's not like this is much worse than what we had gotten before. Honestly, it's really not. People are acting like it is, but it's not. Now, obviously, if you're somebody that doesn't really have, like, you know, the $60 to spend on the game or whatever, and you feel like the maps are like a huge portion of that value, you don't have to pay for the game, obviously, yeah, for sure. Warzone is still obviously free. Also, there may actually be less weapons than there were in Modern Warfare as well, especially on release, obviously, you know, post-launch and everything. There's gonna be new maps, new weapons, things like that. So obviously, we're not gonna have 8 8 maps the entire time. We're not gonna have whatever the, you know, weapon count is. Even in just a couple months from now, that will change. That'll get higher. There'll be more maps, there'll be more weapons, more, you know, cool things. And honestly, I'll be able to play both of the games at the same time. Like, next week, obviously, the game is going to be out already, and I will already be grinding it and making videos and stuff like that. But then the butterfly knife will come out, like I was talking about. So I'm still gonna make a video on that butterfly knife. I'm still gonna get up early to go and get on this game. To have this happen, that there being less weapons, there may also be less camos, less of a camo grind than there is on this game. When we go over to these weapons and we look at the camos, we got 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 102, 106 total camos for each and every single weapon in the entire game. Seems like such a cool number and everything, like, oh my god, the amount of customization. But then you go and look at them, and to be completely honest, a lot of it is truly redundant. It just kind of is. It's pointless. Like, the difference between this to this to this to that, like, seriously, these could all just be the same thing. It doesn't matter. So there's a lot of just filler in these camos and stuff. So I didn't go out of my way to go and unlock the mastery camo. I really started on Modern Warfare Remastered with Exclusion Zone, which, by the way, is a highly underrated one, which you guys should absolutely bring back. I don't care what developer does it, just please do it. If you've never seen a video of Exclusion Zone on Modern Warfare Remastered, just look it up somewhere, like Jev Exclusion Zone or something. That camo is cleaner than at least 95% of the camos that are on this game. Actually, Exclusion Zone is better than Damascus and Obsidian, easily. So this grind, it might be, you know, around the same length for, you know, Damascus, maybe a couple weeks. Dark Matter, maybe a couple weeks. I forget how long it took me to unlock Black Ops 4, but I don't know necessarily if it's the exact same system. Black Ops 4 did have Dark Matter, and I unlocked that and everything. That wasn't so bad, so we'll have to see, but please be easier.